So what happened was it was late 2016, and obviously the whole filmmaking thing has taken precedence. I mean, especially at this stage of my life, my main goal at the moment is to try to grow as a filmmaker, to try and learn as much as I can, to increase my portfolio of work as much as I can, and to try and find work as much as I can as a filmmaker. And it's extremely tough. It's very, very tough to do. Once you are there, you've made it as a filmmaker. It's fantastic. Obviously, if you love filmmaking, it's one of the best jobs that you can do. It's absolutely incredible. But the journey to get there is often a very difficult one. So yeah, I was having a tough time of it, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm getting very little paid work here. I need to just like shoot some stuff myself, because no one's paying me to shoot anything. I need to try and find some things that I can shoot for very, very little money, or maybe no money, that I can use as a kind of showcase of my ability to tell a story, to find a story, that kind of thing. But I didn't really have any decent ideas. There's a few things I was planning, but they didn't really come to fruition. So I was not in a good place in terms of my future. So what happened then was, again, just total stroke of luck. I got an email from a guy called Toby, and he sent an email to me saying, "Hey, Berk, I love your videos. Watch your Final Fantasy X walkthroughs, really good." The kind of message that over the years I've received a fair few times, which I'm obviously infinitely grateful for. It's always lovely, and I always try to read every single one. I mean, I probably do read every single one, but yeah, it came through to me. It didn't seem like all that revelatory until I got like near the end, and he mentioned that he was born without eyes, and that just made me stop for a second. I was like, huh, what? This guy's like totally blind? And yeah, like he mentioned how, I think at the time I was doing Final Fantasy IX, and obviously that game has no voice acting, so I had to read out and voice act the entire game. And he was he was thanking me for taking the time to actually read everything. Thanks to my narration of the story, he was able to follow it and experience something he hadn't experienced before. That kind of thing. It was just blowing me away. I was like, holy shit! I've managed to, bring the story of Final Fantasy IX to this guy through my ability to read it, which was amazing. I'd never. It's the kind of thing that you don't think about, man, because you're just a guy sitting in front of his computer making videos, So the fact that there's someone out there in the world who's blind, who you're facilitating their enjoyment of a story that they'd never had a chance to experience before, that's something insane, and that's something that is very difficult to imagine until they really reach out to you themselves to tell you that you've helped them in this way. So I was just blown away, man. I was just like, this is like one of the most awesome things I've ever read since I started the channel. But then I had a little bit of a light bulb moment. I was like, wait a minute. This guy is born without eyes, and he's obviously a video game fan, since he's watching all these walkthroughs I'm doing and stuff. So I was like, do you actually do you play games? And he's like, yeah, I play video games and stuff. I was like, wait, how is this possible? Like, you're totally blind. You've never seen before. How is it that you're able to play games? It's like, yeah, I played Final Fantasy X. I've been Evray before. I even, with a friend, I managed to beat Penance. And I was like, this is insane. Like, this is a story and a half. I've got to find this guy, and I've got to get him to tell his story. Now, at the time, I didn't know where he's from. We're just kind of emailing each other. So I asked him. I said, like, where are you based? If you're based in the UK somewhere, I said, I'd love to come down and meet you and like shoot a little documentary, if that's okay. And he sent me a message back. It turns out he's like a couple of hours drive from where I live in the UK. So I was like, dude, we got to do this, man. I was like, I'm coming over in the new year. Let's set a date. Let's make it happen. Let me get you to tell your story and share it with the world. So because this guy watched my Final Fantasy X series, which then inspired him to go and watch my other walkthroughs, and become a fan of the channel, and become so much of a fan of the channel that he contacted me about it, I managed to stumble into this incredible story that I want to share with the world. So early 2017, it was I think 17th of January 2017, I went over to Toby's house. I met him for the first time, and I guess that goes down as like the first time I've ever like met a true fan of the channel who I didn't know at all from real life. So that was very surreal for me, like meeting a fan of the channel for the first time ever. And so yeah, together we made this little documentary. He did a fantastic job in telling his story to me and to the people that will be watching it. and I got to learn a lot about him and why he loves video games, how he's able to play them, and all that kind of stuff. And it ended up being like a really interesting little piece. So I did that, and back when I did shoot this documentary, the whole plan was let's just shoot this little thing. I'll put it onto YouTube because it might be interesting. Maybe some people will watch it, and it'll be an extra chance for me to get a camera in my hand and just shoot a few extra little things. So I didn't really have any big time plans for it. I mean, because I did it with absolutely zero budget. I shot it on my own. Like, one of the cameras was my own, which was a good one, but the other one was like an old crappy camera that I used a second camera. The colors don't even match up properly, that kind of thing. I thought, yeah, this isn't really going to get very far in terms of anything more than just uploading to YouTube as like a little thing. But I finished it. Obviously, I did all the editing myself, all that kind of stuff. It was a total like one-man project, and I sent it to a director friend of mine who said, "Whoa, man, this is a crazy, interesting story. I was like really like riveted by it. I reckon you should enter this into some little festivals because I think the story is interesting enough that you might win some awards for it." And I was like, okay, that. I didn't think it had any chance because most of the documentaries, even that enter the smaller film festivals, they've got some form of financial backing. They've got crews behind them. This is just like me doing it for absolutely zero money. I just, whatever petrol money it cost me to go to Toby's house, that's pretty much all the money that I spent on it. And maybe like a £3 Tesco meal deal or something like that. Those of you guys from the UK will know what I'm talking about. But that's pretty much all it was. So I thought, okay, let me just try it. What do I have to lose? Might as well give it a go. So I entered a few festivals, and what do you know? Like a few weeks later, I got my first email to say Gaming Through New Eyes has been chosen as this month's winner. It's going to be screened, like, I think September this year or October this year. It's going to be screened at like a little, albeit very small festival in London. And I was like, holy shit, like I actually won an award for this documentary. Now, that obviously inspired me to try and enter some more festivals, some slightly bigger ones, to see if maybe I could get something that could generate a little bit of maybe PR for the film and that kind of thing. Because at its core, before I even decided to go and actually film it, like the day I filmed it, I was like, the best that I can do for this guy is to upload it onto YouTube, try to get lots of hits for it, and try to maybe get some developers to make some more considerations for blind gamers in their next game. So maybe someone will turn around and say, hey, for the next, I don't know, The Last of Us 2, we're going to have an extra feature which enables blind players to navigate the menus more easily or something. Even something like that I thought would be a really nice way to give back to the gaming community and hopefully help Toby in playing even more games and having even more experiences. So that was the main goal. But now I was like, well, that's something I'm going to do anyway. It's going to end up on YouTube one way or the other. But let's chase this festival scene and see what we can do out of it. And so one of the festivals I entered was a little bit of a bigger festival. And basically, if a festival's kind of well known enough, it has enough of a reputation as being a legitimate festival. If you win an award on that festival, then you're eligible to have an IMDb page, which was a really big incentive because, as a filmmaker, everyone wants to end up on IMDb because that's where every legit filmmaker has a profile. Martin Scorsese has an IMDb. Christopher Nolan has an IMDb. So if you want to be a filmmaker, you want your name to be searchable on IMDb, and you want your films to be on there. So it's like having a Wikipedia page, pretty much. So even though Wikipedia is fan-based, but this is like a legit version of a Wikipedia page. So yeah, I entered that festival, and I didn't have too much expectation because I got chosen as a finalist, but even then I looked at the other films I was competing against. Like, man, these I can't compete against these. They're too good. I'm probably not going to win it. So then, on the night of the 31st of March, 2017, I got an email, and the email said that your film has been chosen as the winner of this festival. And I was completely just like stunned to silence. I was like, oh my goodness, this is just insane. So through that victory, my film now has an IMDb page. I now have an IMDb page as a result, and I was like, let's stop a second and let's rewind the tape here. The reason why I made this documentary was because a guy reached out to me and said that he was a great fan of my Final Fantasy uploads that started with Final Fantasy X. That was like the first series he watched and loved. And then I thought, okay, the reason why I uploaded the Final Fantasy X commentary in the first place was because I decided to make a YouTube channel. Why did I make a YouTube channel? Because Final Fantasy. why did I even get Final Fantasy? And it was because Dad randomly got it at work. And I was like, holy shit, that is what you call a butterfly effect. You know, just something that you have no control over, just something that happens randomly in your life. You know, someone else just gets a game for free. You know, like I think it might have even been a review copy. I don't remember too well now. It might have been a review copy that they got back in the day, and he brings it home. Like I said, there is absolutely no way I think that I would be playing Final Fantasy X and maybe enjoying it this much and enjoying it enough to start a YouTube channel for. You know, so it all comes from that one moment. That absolutely, the day he came home with Final Fantasy X changed my life. So that, my friends, is my relationship with Final Fantasy X. So the next time you ask yourself, why does this guy love Final Fantasy X so much? You know, why is it such a big deal to him? Why does he always want to upload more Final Fantasy X? You know, why is he always looking for excuses to play the game? Why does it mean so much to him? Then this will be the video that you can refer yourself back to, because I don't think there's too much more I can add here. So yeah, that's been my story. That's been me and Final Fantasy X. But this should hopefully go to show you guys that you just never know when your life could change. It could be something just so innocuous, something that you had no idea, that something that you only really appreciate in hindsight. But maybe if you're going through a tough time, or you know, things aren't going the way you want them to, everything can just change in an instant. That's how crazy this life is. You know, someone could, you know, you could bump into someone one day, you could pick something up, you could watch something, you could get an email, you could get a call, you could get a letter, anything. You just never know when your life is going to change. So that's all I'm saying. So for those of you guys who, you know, if anyone ever says to you, yeah, what good are video games, you know, just stupid entertainment for kids, well, I beg to differ. So there you go, guys. That's my story of Final Fantasy X. That's the 9th anniversary video for the Dan's Great channel. Hopefully we'll see you guys for the 10th anniversary. If you guys have some ideas for what I could do for the 10th anniversary, please do share them, because I've got absolutely no ideas right now. But luckily I've got a year to think about it. So hopefully see you in 2018 for the big one. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for caring, you know, enough to stay with this channel over the years, because I'm pretty sure people watching this are people that have been subscribed to the channel for some time. So thank you guys for always sticking with me through this journey, and hopefully I will see you guys for more videos in the future. Take care.